So some people ask me, how do I feel about autistic women being a part of Revolut? And, my response to this is that we don't discriminate because of any type of conditions, ADHD, autism, or anything like that, right? Especially autism. Other different forms of disorders and stuff, we'll have to go through, like, psychotherapists or some type of medical professional that will be able to help us understand them better for them to be able to get to their God-given purpose. See, just because you're autistic does not mean that you don't have a God-given purpose. Everybody has a God-given purpose. Everybody is born with one. Now, autistic people may find it harder to get to the purpose. That could happen, and that might be because of the people that's around them. See, my son is autistic. So one of the things I did with my son is that when I listened to the doctors, I did not allow the doctors to really predict the future for him to that degree. They told me he wasn't going to talk till he was like 10, 11 years old, right? But he was talking 4 years before that. He's 9 now, right? So he's been talking since he was like 4 years old, right? 4.5, a little bit around that time, right? Because what I did was I introduced him to the arts. I introduced him to literature, I introduced him to music, I introduced him to photography, I introduced him to dance, and I introduced him to films, right? So I introduced him to the arts as a way to be able to counter anything that was going on in his brain, you know what I mean, that was not allowing him to be his full potential. See, with autistic people that I'm going to learn, and I've learned with my son, is that I don't predict his future for him. I just follow him. I follow things that he likes to be able to do. And then by doing, how I am with the arts and by me introducing it to him, he just started to further become better and better in what he wants to be able to do. Now, let me rewind that back. Let me get off my son for a second. Let me rewind this back and say this about any women feeling that because you're autistic, because you're ADHD, or because you have these different type of conditions that you're living with, don't ever feel like you cannot come and participate in Revolut. There is no discrimination here. If anything, we are more than welcome to be able to help any autistic women, any ADHD women, any women with those different types of conditions, and many other conditions. I'm just speaking about this one specifically because somebody asked me the question, but there is no discrimination, and we're willing to work. We're willing to work. Because over here, we do have ADHD people involved in Revolut. We have